Welcome to Pristina. I'm here at the monument of the lost heroes who Serbia has butchered, and they are still disappeared. Yeah, and it's a tragedy. And I'm calling for Serbia to start to apologize, because this should be part of any kind of agreement with Serbia. It should be apologize for the past. Yeah? But on the contrary, now at the 21st of March, just 2 days ago, it was again 3 days ago, it was again very clear that Serbia is not apologizing. Mr. Vučić made an outrageous speech of attacking NATO and claiming and blaming NATO for aggression against Serbia. We never aggressed anybody. We defended the people of, they were citizens of Serbia, Yugoslavia, which were victims of genocide. And then we defended these people. And of course we had then to militarily intervene, and it was the right thing to do. And when I say now that I went on the 12th of March to Serbia, and I went to the grave of Zoran Đinđić, and I protested against the Serb pro-Russian policy now in the Ukraine war, and against the lack of repentance and the lack of contrition from Serbia for their genocide against the Bosniaks, the Croatians, the Slovenians, and the Kosovo Albanians. Especially in '99 there was horrendous atrocities, and we had to stop them. And I called for the removal of the Rakic monument, and I went with the NATO flag to Belgrade. Then they were now attacking me personally, putting me on the front page of one of the tabloids. And then they were starting the 21st of March, where they had the impression I was in Serbia with my NATO flag, because I was in reality on the 12th of March there. They were starting now to harass me, to send me thousands of WhatsApp messages, threatening content of these WhatsApp messages. And they were then also starting to call me every minute. They published my telephone number, my address. They even went so far to send me some guy to my address in Vienna who was visible there. And they published that address then online on their accounts in Serbia, this extremist group. And they threatened me personally many times, my life and my personal safety, my family, and all these things. They have been very brutal. I will sue them at the Austrian courts and also try to do the same in Serbia. But the way of harassment which is done against political activism, which they don't like when you somehow criticize them, they always threaten you with physical extermination and with violence and with brutal sexual assaults and all these things. This is the status of Serbia today, or not all Serbs, obviously. I always argue to make Serbia a very clear state, the middle class. The euro for Serbia for recognition, the metro system for Serbia for recognition. And it's true. It has been done for Montenegro and for Kosovo. It's absolutely possible. We have paid for a metro for Athens, for Sofia, for Bucharest, and will do for the other cities as well. And it will come if Serbia is ready for peace. But Mr. Vučić is not ready for peace. Contrary to the claims of Čolet, Lajčák, Borrell, Mr. Vučić is riling up the people just yesterday again in the streets. And he's putting his Secret Service manipulated, kind of directed people from these football clubs against my physical safety in Vienna. You know, this is the truth of Serbia today. And they put then all this information online, and then they order things in my name, they break into my email address, and they do all these things in order to harass me. Because I'm critical of their Western appeasement over Serbia. Because the American policy at this moment is simply just give Serbia everything they want, and just to have no war at the moment. And then we accept all this kind of terrible policy which they are implementing today, because they are today with Russia. And I can send you now thousands of photos where they send me messages where they are very clearly for Russia in this war. And how can we have a EU candidate status who is for Russia? I really lack any understanding for that. How to have somebody coming to us in our political union who is mentally with Russia, our arch enemy, who is killing the Ukrainians, and who will mobilize all our financial resources to help the Ukrainians who are also coming to us. So it's impossible for Ukraine and for Serbia to be in the same European Union when they are on different sides. It's absolutely disastrous policy. And this is what I would like to make very clear here. I call for justice for these people. and I call for justice for Europeans. Yeah. We are not the aggressors of Serbia. We are not. We have started this military and implemented this military operation and this liberation war in '99, or this war, if you want, against Serbia, in order to stop this evil regime. And that was justified and necessary. And I call for the same. We should also intervene in Ukraine now to stop the genocide and to help the Ukrainians much more. And Serbia, with this current behavior, can in no way be in the European Union. It must be absolutely isolated until it turns to the West. And then all the benefits have to come, like the 600 million package. But not now. It's absolutely wrong policy what we are currently doing, this appeasement of Serbia, and it will backfire very hard. And I'm now personally also a victim of the brutality of the Serb aggression. And they do it to innocent Austrians who claim provoke them. You know, I feel sorry for any child who died in any war. But it's very clear that Milosevic started the war in '99 and he did all these atrocities against his own population, the ethnic cleansing and the genocide. And then when accidentally somebody is killed, that's a big tragedy. But there were millions of Germans were killed in the process of liberating them from Nazi terror regime. And they were also guilty, like many Serbs are guilty. And we have learned that, we have adopted, we have changed, and I expect the same from the Serbs. And that's why I'm calling for Vergangenheitsbewältigung for Serbia, for contrition, and for a different kind of Serbia, a European Serbia, ready for peace. And that only can be then in NATO and in the European Union. Any other, we simply don't need. Thanks a lot, and please stop all this harassment. Bye.